Yeah.
Are we going to talk about the blue cult?
Aum Shinrikyo?
Yeah. Aum Shinrikyo.
Those guys are effed up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I won't go super in depth to them, because there's so much to that cult, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But,
The infamous incident.
The sarin gas.
Yeah.
They've actually, there was quite a few incidents of that. They were so big. But, okay, so Aum Shinrikyo started by a guy named Shoko Asahara in 84. And he originally started out just like in his like one-bedroom apartment. Just like crappy little, tiny little place. He was teaching yoga and meditation and stuff. And from there, it wound up really getting just bigger and bigger, and it wound up forming their own religion 5 years later, actually gaining like official religion status, all that kind of stuff. And
Well, he did look a lot like Korean Jesus from
He did.
from 21 Jump Street #1.
yeah. He actually claimed that he was
Japanese
Christ.
Jesus.
He called himself the Christ.
Wow.
And said that he could like take in everyone's sins and all this kind of stuff. But what he did was he actually wound up appealing to a lot of university students and stuff, like university graduates.
Yeah, because of
he
the
called
New Age thinking.
Yeah. He called itself like the religion of the elite and all this kind of stuff, and saying that they were like really like godlike and all this kind of stuff, and as close to God as you can get, kind
It's
of
like
a
a
deal.
motivation thing again.
Yeah,
Building
to really,
you up.
really draw people in, and make you feel like you're going to really make a difference, all this kind of stuff. But very quickly things turned really, really bad. Like they started saying that mass, they started getting into the whole mass killing idea and stuff like that, and really like, purifying everyone and all this kind of shit.
Yeah, it was like right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, it was a number of years later, but they wound up getting there was a couple people who tried to leave the cult, and they started mixing up different gases. One of them was sarin, which they wound up using on the subway. And the other one was a gas called VX gas.
Ooh.
And their cult this attack is the only known death from VX gas, because they actually came up to, like, one of the guys tried to leave the cult, and he was talking to another cult member telling them that, and someone came up behind him and sprinkled this dust from this gas on his neck. And then they started running away from him because he was like freaking out and chasing them. And when he did that, I guess he was inhaling a lot because he was breathing as he was running. And he fell down and passed out, went into a coma, and died 10 days later.
Wow.
And it's the only known recorded death, I guess, at that point, of VX gas. But
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then there was another thing they did with the sarin gas before the whole subway attack. Was they were investigated for, there was a bunch of judges who were going to have this big case against them.
Yeah.
They used a big refrigerator truck and filled it full of sarin gas and started like just dumping the gas out of the truck, all in the areas where these judges lived.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and a whole bunch of people were injured by the effects of the gas, and 7 people died. And then
All these judges kept mysteriously dying. Totally not us.
exactly.
We don't have refrigerators.
So, and then, in 1995 was the big attack, the big sarin gas attacks on the subway. Was what they did was they had this, just packages, and they put the packages down on the ground on the subway, and, in Japan people don't really tend to pay a lot of attention.
Yeah, I know that they put them, like, under seats and stuff like that, too, right?
Yeah, and they're very, like, mind your own business kind of a thing. So these people were able to do that, and they had like these umbrellas with like a sharpened point at the end. And just before they got off the subway, they jab through it and break it and set off the device and then leave. And quite a few people died in that attack, actually.
I recall it was enough sarin gas that can kill 4 million people.
Yeah,
they went overkill with it.
Yeah, that's how much they had at their compound.
Yeah.
But anyway, a great number of people died. And there was another one. There was actually a lawyer, who was an anti-cult lawyer, who was threatening them with a lawsuit which could potentially bankrupt them. And in the same month, he also talked to a Japanese TV show on the TBS station. And he did this big interview with them and stuff, and exposed a bunch of stuff about the cult. But then the TV station, which is oddly enough, intentionally, they broke what's called a protection of sources, and showed it to the cult. And then the cult obviously threatened TBS to cancel the broadcast and all this kind of stuff. And in the following month, this lawyer and his wife and child disappeared. Police were then, at the time, police were unable to figure out what happened, but it was later discovered in 1995 that the cult had murdered them and dumped their bodies.
Fuck.
Yeah.
This is some Death Note shit where it's like, oh, extreme forces are gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So they've tried to do assassinations. They did all kinds of crazy stuff. There was, and then there was a big raid. The government originally raided them, and the leader Asahara tried to stage another sarin gas attack in Tokyo to distract them from the raid, to divert their attention. But the cops just went in full force and invaded a bunch of their compounds, arrested Asahara and a bunch of other members,
And found a shit ton of weapons.
so much, tons and tons of weapons. They
It's
had
enough for a war.
enough sarin gas, enough ingredients for sarin gas to kill
4 million.
4 million.
Enough weapons to start a war.
Yeah, Russian helicopters, Russian weapons.
What? Yeah.
Ebola, anthrax, some
Yeah.
other diseases. They've got they had
Like bioweapons.
bioweapons.
Fuck.
Crazy.
Tons of shit in their compounds.
This is why you don't do yoga.
No kidding. Yeah. So yeah, they had all that crazy stuff, and then Asahara was taken or arrested, and a bunch of other people who was sentenced to death, along with a bunch of others. But after that, the cult continued to kill people and stuff. But it's since broken up into two different factions. There's Aleph and another one, I can't remember. But both have since been named by Kazakhstan, oddly enough, the United States, obviously enough, and Canada as a terrorist organization.
Understandably so.
Yeah. And since all of that happened, people in Japan, once they find out that you're in this cult, they won't allow your kids to go to their schools. They won't let you have housing benefits and stuff, so you can't get medical coverage, all this kind of shit. So
Effectively
really
shut down.
yeah. Although anytime any of the cult members have taken these people to court to be able to get housing benefits and stuff, they've actually won.
Really?
So they've actually their cult members and stuff have been able to get their kids in schools and which is just crazy.
Yeah.
Really, really insane.
Well, I guess all the lawyers are worried they're gonna get gassed or murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was another thing I read was that they actually made manga and anime about their cult and about
It's Japan.
stuff about about.
Well, I guess you can make a manga and anime about fucking playing tennis,
Yeah.
swimming, I
Or
guess.
swimming, or
Yeah.
basketball, or they're gonna make them. They should make one for lacrosse.
Yeah, but it was all about the sort of stuff that they were interested in, space travel and
Space travel and
nuclear
genocide.
weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
Reminded me almost of 21st Century Boys.
Oh, okay.
Made me think of that. Yeah, but yeah, that particular cult, the Aum Shinrikyo, was loosely referenced in Earthbound, Mother 3 or 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Blue people.
the blue cult, the
blue cult.
happy cult or whatever it was. Because the main color of Aum Shinrikyo was blue.
Yeah.
They wore blue robes and stuff like that, and they really wanted to spread this positive, happy message, is what they claimed.
Through sarin gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was another reference
Happiness by death.
to, yeah. So yeah, Earthbound made a bit of a reference to that,
Yeah.
which is. I think Earthbound was made before the
Sarin Gas
Sarin
Attacks,
Gas
which is
is
understandable why they would do that.
yeah.
Like if it was after the gas attacks, and it would just be like, oh no, can't do that.
I'd have been a little
It's
worried.
insensitive.
Actually, I also have the Temple of the Black Light. Sounds metal enough.
That's pretty metal.
Yeah. And of course, it's actually the misanthropic Luciferian Order, which also sounds pretty fucking metal.
Yeah.
Sounds like the name of a band.
That's very kvlt.
Actually, a band
cult
was
is
a part of
killed.
this. The band Dissection was actually part of this.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah, and actually, I'll just read an excerpt from their description. It's the most metal thing I've ever heard.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like interviewing a guy what his beliefs are. It's like my status within the order is one of the full members and the second grade of a priest of Satan. To become a candidate, one must first of all already be an anti-cosmic Satanist, sympathize and share the misanthropic and anti-cosmic values of the order. And true will in accordance to the dark gods. Becoming an initiate is a long and hard process that can take several years. And let's see, and he lists the 3 dark paths, which are unpronounceable, but it sounds so metal. It's pretty freaking metal, and
3 Dark Paths.
basically,
Sounds like a concept album.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The whole basis of their beliefs are extreme nihilism.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
The extreme nihilism where they believe like chaos is the primordial, is null, and where everything starts from chaos and ends in chaos.
Yeah,
But then they brought in like the 11 demon gods that they believe in. It sounds like it's something from Oblivion, where it's like, oh, the freaking 30
Daedric Princess.
Exactly.
I think I read this Hellboy comic.
Exactly. It's like, I think this is from Spawn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it sounds totally like storybook. It's,
And like little 12-year-old guys being like, let's make up a religion.
Let's put in 11 gods in there because it sounds cool.
we're gonna scare our parents.
Drop pentagrams and everything, candles. And
It's so silly.
yeah. And of course, they had animal sacrifices, mostly cats, because they're jackasses. And they did invocation for demons and mass suicides. So that's pretty crazy. And then planned assassinations, which apparently the members of Dissection were threatened with death. And that the main singer, basically he was convicted for murder because he killed a guy. He killed a guy, and then he came out and killed himself. But then before that, though, before he went in, he planned on killing his band members for human sacrifice for Satan. Yeah.
That would have been an intense concert.
Okay.
Even Gorgoroth ain't this intense.
No. I mean, Gal just drags home people who are following him.
Yeah.
Beats the shit out of them and makes them drink their own blood.
Yeah, that's all. I mean,
That's about it.
It's not too bad.
Basically, when the singer came out, he recorded a new album, and then the whole album concept is based on his belief in the MLO, and then talks about like all this mythology and the three paths and all that stuff. Perfect for metal lyrics. Sounds metal as fuck. I dig it. And then he shot himself in the face with a shotgun. He did it with I think it's some satanic ritual. Because when his body was found, there was like pentagrams and candles and everywhere. So it's actually like some metal album. It's like they lived the life of a true black metal album, like worshiping Satan, mass suicide, planned assassination, murder, and shotgun to the face.
About as kvlt as it gets.
Yeah.
Exactly.